as I alluded to in the last ending of the little vid I did, I watched I don't know what he is. I mean, he wears a thing over his head and he wears a robe thing, got a little cross around his neck and stuff. I don't know if he's Jewish, rabbi, or what he is. But, and I've seen this before, they talk about cremation. And I've looked it up, and it really doesn't say anything about, quote, cremation. But it does talk about in Genesis, you coming from, the earth, the dust, ashes, whatever, and going back to dust or ashes or, I say whatever, but you go back to the earth, all right? That's what it talks about. Because that's in Genesis. I don't remember what part of Genesis, but I think it was the earlier part. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But they say cremation is ungodly. You're not supposed to do it. Blah blah blah. Okay. They never gave any reasoning for this, but they just said that. Or I should say he said that. And and the way I think is, and I could be totally wrong if I am, man. I wish somebody would explain it. But the way I see it is, and it doesn't matter how I see it, it matters how God sees it. That's all that matters, is how God sees it. But if you're cremated, you're back to ashes, you're back to dust. If your body is embalmed with all these chemicals and amaldified, I'm going to say it all wrong, amaldified, you know what I'm trying to say. But it's all these chemicals and it preserves your body. When does your body go back to ashes or dust if it's preserved like that? I mean, we've all seen mummies, like thousands of years old, and they're preserved because they were embalmed. So how do you go back to ashes? How do you go back to dust? And then if they want to say, well, if you do that to your body, Christ can't raise you again or whatever. It's like, no, that's totally, I don't agree with that at all because there's lots of men in wars and have had bad tragic accidents and mountains fall on them, coal miners, and their bodies are destroyed or they're in the bottom of the ocean, the fish ate, I mean, you follow my drift. Because God knows how many hairs are on your head. He can put you back together. He knows you. He created you. Does he need a template to say, oh, this is what you like or this is that? No, he doesn't need that. He's already done it. So I don't see how that could be part of it. So, I mean, I always look at it like embalming is the opposite of what you shouldn't do. I mean, yes, they got Jesus, cleaned him up and blah blah. But I mean, I know what they call embalming back then when Jesus was is I don't believe it's anything like it is today. I mean, maybe I don't know, but they cleaned the body and put spices and oil and they did all that stuff and wrapped it in a cloth and stuff and then put it in a tomb. And of course, it would decay, go back to the ashes that it came from, and so on and so forth. The bones, well, the bones will still be there. Teeth will still be there. Your exoskeleton will be there. But how long does it take for that to break down? I have no idea. But when you do cremation, your teeth Yes, the rest of you know, even the bones are all ash to ashes. But you see, when God created you, He didn't say, "Oh, here, I'm going to create you from dust or ash, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get some bones." He didn't say that. And He said, when you die, you go back to it. So I mean, I have a problem with that. Like I said, if you can explain that, that would be helpful. But I don't see a problem with cremation. Actually, cremation's more of what the Bible would infer, and that's me saying this, not God, than having your body embalmed, preserved. You see, like I say, the devil works in tricky ways. He's had he stays up 24/7, thousands and thousands and thousands of years in that, and he's perfected his craft. He knows how to lie. He knows how to twist and distort stuff. So just be leery on some of that stuff. Question everything. Ask God and question everything. Well, that's all I got for that.